Hello again, and welcome back to Illegally Cited. This is BGFH, and I am back for something again a little bit different this time. Up to this point, we have not actually done any Let's Play series for an accessible game, and I thought we'd give that a shot. So, instead of doing a low vision spotlight for this particular game, I thought we would try our hand at an accessible iOS game that I have played through once already. But really what makes me kind of want to try this on video is the game that we are going to be looking at is kind of, there's a lot of games on iOS that are sort of textual, choose your own adventures. But this one is, like, I think crazy beyond that. Like, it has... it seems like so many paths and weird ways things can go. So what we're going to do, we are going to do a Let's Play for Alter Ego. Alter Ego. It is available for iOS. I don't remember what it costs, but it is, if you want an accessible game with not only some variety, but some good replayability, I think I would highly recommend this one because I think they did an excellent job with this title. Let's pop right into it here.
Alter Ego. Double tap to open.
This is a voiceover accessible game.
Heading.
And what we are going to do, I'll take you through the main menu here real quick just so we can see what it is. And I'll kind of explain things as we go. So,
Home. Heading.
So home. I apologize. The one thing about mirroring iOS over to the computer is sometimes VoiceOver will crackle a little bit, and it will you've probably heard this a little bit in some other videos, but it sometimes will crackle, or like the beginning of a phrase might get chopped off. But I'll try to cover that for you. All right, so it's a very simple. You just interface. You just got a whole bunch of buttons that go straight down. On the main menu, we have
Play button.
Play.
Restart button.
Restart.
About button. More games button. Subscribe button. Share button. Share button.
And that's it. All I was doing is flicking to the right. So we should be just at the beginning of a game again. And so we're going to go to play here in just a second. So basically, before I do, what is Alter Ego? Alter Ego is a kind of a, like I said, it's kind of a text choose your own adventure sort of thing. But like I said, it's beyond that because basically you're playing through your character's entire life. Literally, you're starting as you are a baby. You go through early childhood, like adolescence, teenager, young adulthood, and you go all the way until something happens where you die. So I did make it to old age the first time I played. And what's interesting in each one of these life cycle or stages of life, you have this like a like a branching tree, and there's different icons, and you can randomly choose what type of things you want to focus on, like social, intellectual, family, those kinds of things. And I don't know exactly like if there's a set number of turns for each stage, because it will eventually advance you. You can choose to advance to the next stage manually, but eventually it seems like it'll just go. And in a lot of cases, it seems like you can't finish the entire tree, because especially once you get past like early childhood, there's a lot of things on these trees. So let's jump into play.
Button. Play. Alter Ego. Home. Back button.
All right.
Welcome to Alter Ego. Have you ever wondered what your life could have been like if things had gone a little bit differently? Well, in this game, you can find out.
And all I'm doing is flicking to the right.
Next button.
Next button. Let's do it. All right.
.jpg. Image.
All right.
The game begins not long before your first birthday.
All right.
Next button.
Got a picture of my...
Will you be male or female?
Let's be male.
Male. Male. Next button. Select an action.
All right, now I'll just start at the top here.
Home. Back button.
Home back button.
Alter ego. Heading. You are in a warm, dark, comfortable place. This has been your place since you became aware that you are alive. It's almost time to enter a different world now. Select an action.
So we're going to select an action.
Come out fighting. Radio button. Checked. Come out peacefully. Radio. Stay in a little longer. Radio button. Unchecked. 1 of 1. Come out peacefully. Radio button.
We'll
Unchecked.
come out
1 of 1.
peacefully.
Checked. Next button.
Okay.
What a good sport. Are you sure you're ready for this? It can get pretty hectic out there. I'll give you one more chance to try to stay a while longer. Would you like to? Select an action. Yes. No. Radio
No.
button. Checked. Next button.
Let's move on.
Next.
Okay.
That's the spirit. You are an easy delivery. Your mom and dad took special classes to help you. Go out there and give them heck. You're still too young to swear.
Okay.
Next button. Happy birthday and welcome to the world. From now on, life will begin to change rapidly. You will have to learn to accept responsibility, build up your resources, and manage yourself physically and emotionally. Next button. The doctors note that your breathing is a bit irregular and suggest special monitoring equipment to avoid serious problems.
Uh-oh. This didn't happen to me last time.
You develop a mild respiratory infection that causes some concern, but no later problems.
Okay.
You develop an allergy to milk and have to be given special formula.
Oh, come on. Milk is great.
The doctors note that your breathing is a bit irregular and suggest special monitoring equipment to avoid serious problems. Next chapter button.
Man, what? That's lame. All right.
Are in infancy.
All right, now now the game opens up. So now we are on this kind of a tree thing that I was talking about earlier. Now the way these screens are laid out, you have your back button and your title of the window always at the top, but then you have your stage of life.
Are in infancy.
You are in infancy. So I'll flick to the right.
There are 7 stages of life in alter ego.
Okay.
You play from birth until death, whenever that may be.
Yep.
Your game is saved automatically. You may select icons in any order.
Any order.
They are sorted chronologically.
So they're sorted chronologically. I'm going to be doing a little bit of explore by touch just to speed the video along, but you can flick through and choose. And the only way that you're really going to be able to figure out what or where the icons are is explore by touch, because you can flick right, but that's just going to go in order. Like, each level of this tree has, like if I flick to the right one more time,
Stats, link, image.
stats is always going to be your first icon on the far left, and then on the far right of the same row.
Age, link, image.
What?
Age, link,
Age.
image.
So if I wanted to age to the next stage without it moving on, I could, but I'm not going to. And in the middle, like on the first row, I have 3 icons.
Social, link,
Social,
image. Emotional,
emotional,
link, image. Intellectual,
intellectual.
link,
The next row, I only have 2, and they're split up, and it could be any number of, it could be 1, it could be 3, it could be 2, whatever. So you're going to have to do a little explore by touch if you want to kind of move ahead and find a specific type of thing. So my last character, just to give you a little background, like my game went pretty well last time. Like I only played this once, but it was kind of funny, and I want to see how it differs this time. Like overall things went pretty well. I had a couple minor hardships go on, but things generally went well. I didn't really. I'm trying to think of anything like major that I really had trouble with. I think I went through a bout of depression at one point for some reason. I'm not exactly sure why. Oh yeah, so you know when you get later in life you can date and stuff. There was one person who apparently like clung to me for a while and then like was like, oh yeah, by the way, no, this isn't gonna work. And then there was one person that really clicked with me, but then like I don't know, 7, 8 dates in, oh yeah, by the way, you find out she's married. Okay, all right. So I had that go on. And then when I died, like I said, I just made it to the Elder stage, and I didn't get to play much because I'm like, oh, okay, there's an option. Each one of these events brings you to one of those white screens like we just did, where you make choices. And how I died was they're like, oh yeah, you could join this softball thing, to kind of keep in shape, to keep so you don't so you just keep in shape and whatever. And well, I did, and I was playing softball, and I think I was like an outfielder or something, and I went to catch a ball, and it turns out, well, I made the play, but in doing so, I forget if it was a heart attack or something, but when I did, I fell down and I died on the baseball field. It just went, oh, okay, it went black, dead. And that was like it was like my first or second icon that I selected in my old age thing. So I didn't get to see much of that, but at least I made it to old age. So let's get this train rolling here. Let's choose.
Social. Link. Image.
Sure, let's do a social. Why not?
Select an action.
All right.
A woman walks into a room holding a blanket and a bottle with warm, white liquid.
Oh, okay. This is interesting. So remember, it said that I have a milk problem for the doctor. So if I
Select a mood.
select a mood.
Angry. Radio button. Happy. Radio button. Select an action.
So, and here's the thing is there are different, like sometimes you have to pick two things. And like if I pick happy,
CRY. Radio button. Check. COO. Radio button. Unchecked.
if I picked happy, I probably couldn't cry because it won't let you pick contradictory things sometimes. Well, they probably know that I don't know, probably lactose intolerant or something. So
Angry. Happy.
let's say I'm happy.
Happy. Checked. CRY. Radio button. COO. Radio button. Unchecked.
So we'll just coo
Check.
for a minute
Next. Button.
and see if I get poisoned.
Nothing like a nice warm bottle and a quick hug from mom to get a kid ready to face the world. As she walks toward you with the bottle, she sees you smiling and interprets this as a sign that you want to play with her.
Okay.
Next. Button. CRY. Radio. She picks you up and holds you for 10 minutes. This presents you with quite a dilemma. Select an action. CRY. Radio button. Keep making noises. Radio button. CRY. Radio button. Checked. 1 of 1.
Sure, why
Keep
not?
making next. Button. Next chapter. Button. Oh. Okay, mom can see that you have had enough for now. She feeds you your bottle and walks away. Next chapter. Button. Your game is saved automatically.
Okay, so my game is saved automatically, which is good. So now, if you can visually see the screen, you notice that that icon is now gone. All right.
Emotional. Link. Image.
Let's.
Emotional. Link. Emotional.
Sure,
link,
we'll choose an
image,
emotional just to
link, image.
get that category going.
You don't have very many skills yet. As a matter of fact, life is pretty boring. Select a mood. Restless/irritable. Radio. Quiet. Radio button.
I'm
Unchecked.
going to be that quiet
Check.
guy who you have to wonder about.
Select an action. Sleep. Radio button. Look around. Radio. CRY. Radio button. Look around.
Let's look
radio
around.
Button. Check. Next button.
I want to be inquisitive.
You look around and see a large blur about 11 inches away from your eye. Every once in a while it moves. Hey, ellipsis. Wait a minute, ellipsis. Just as you had that thought, it moved again. Select an action. Keep looking. Radio button. Lose interest. Radio. Keep looking.
Keep
radio
looking.
Button.
I want to know what this
Check.
blur is.
Next button. Next chapter button. Congratulations. You found your hand. This may not seem like much of a big discovery, but it is. You will have to learn how to control your hands as part of childhood development. When you are an adolescent, those hands are going to get you into quite a bit of trouble, because that requires a different kind of hand control.
Okay.
Next chapter button. You are in infancy.
All right, so now we're back at our tree again.
Social. Link.
Let's
Image.
do another social one here.
Social. Link. Image. You are lying down in your crib and are greeted by a nosy neighbor who has a child just around your age. The neighbor says, "My, look at that funny little nose." She turns to your mother and adds, "Don't worry, dear, I hear that." Noses are the last thing to look truly human. She picks you up. Select a mood. Angry/vengeful. Passive. Radio button. Unchecked. Select an action. Fall asleep. Radio button. Collect a mouthful of drool. Radio button. Check. CRY. Radio button. Collect a mouthful of drool. Radio button. Check. 1 of 1.
Yeah, let's do that.
Check.
All right.
Next button. A nice puddle of saliva has formed on the inside of your mouth. Select an action. Open your mouth and drool on the neighbor. Radio button. Drool someplace else. Radio button. Unchecked. 1 of 1.
Should I be spiteful? Yeah, why not?
Next button.
We're young, we can get away with it.
Next chapter button. Splash. A gooey stream showers your neighbor's face and hands. While you give her a glassy-eyed smile, she places you back in the crib and excuses herself. Next chapter button.
Okay.
They are sorted chronologically. Emotional, link, intellectual, link, image.
Yeah, let's do an intellectual. I haven't seen one of those
image.
yet.
You are lying down in the crib while your mom and dad are speaking in the other room. You hear their voices, deep and muffled from beyond the door. Why aren't they paying attention to you? Select a mood. Happy, radio button. SAD, radio button. Unchecked. 1 of 1. Select an action. SAD, radio button. Unchecked. 1 of 1.
What are my
Select an
choices
action.
here?
Sleep, radio button. Make noises, radio button. Unchecked. 1 of 1.
Let's make noises.
Checked. Next button. Next. Positive, happy noises are sure to bring rewards in the form of attention from parents. You make a variety of noises using your mouth, lips, and saliva. You make them over and over again. Suddenly.
Okay.
Your mom comes in. Select an action. Be quiet and attentive. Radio button. Keep making noises. Radio button. Unchecked. 1 of 1. Checked.
Sure, we'll...
Next button.
Alright.
This brings mom closer to you. She smiles at you and this makes you feel very excited. You pound your hands up and down on the crib mattress and move your feet like a person riding a bicycle. You begin to notice that your sounds and movement create responses from others. Select an action.
Okay.
Make sounds at mom. Radio button. Stop making sounds. Radio button. Unchecked. 1 of 1.
So let's
Next button.
keep her going. See what happens.
Your mom hears this combination and gets excited. This causes you to say it over and over. Your mom is reinforcing this combination of sounds with attention, and you're reinforcing her attention with the sounds, keeping her close to you. Next button.
Okay.
Next chapter button. This marks the beginning of language development and is a very significant moment in your life. Intellectual, emotional, and social spheres increase.
Okay. So you do have... I should probably pop into
Chapter
stats
button.
here so I can show you.
They are supported chronologic stats. Link.
Let's go to
image,
stats
tables
real
are,
quick so I can
stats,
show you
link,
that.
image.
And I'm going to flick through just so you can see all of the crazy stuff. And we'll get more as we go on through life here.
Alter ego life status. Occupation. None.
None.
Relationship status. Unattached. Familial. 50%. Intellectual. 95%. Physical. 20%. Social. 60%. Vocational. 53%. Calmness. 50%. Confidence. 62%. Expressiveness. 50%. Gentleness. 27%. Happiness. 52%. Thoughtfulness. 50%. Trustworthiness. 50%. Money. 999. Acquisitions. None. Next button. Next button.
Okay. And now we're back at
Link,
the
image.
now we're back at the tree again. So, like I said, those things will change over time and kind of depending on the actions that you do. So let's keep
Family. Link. Image.
yeah, let's do a family one.
Family. Link.
I
Image.
saw a different looking icon, so let's try that.
It's time to go to Aunt Lucy's house. It's chilly outside and you need to be dressed in a coverall type suit. Select a mood. Angry. Radio button. Playful. Radio button. Unchecked.
Let's do playful.
Check.
That sounds good.
Select an action. Go limp. Radio button. Resist. Radio button. Cooperate. Radio button. Unchecked. 1 of 1.
Sure.
Checked. Next button. Next. What a good baby. Your mother has very little trouble getting you into your suit. Your grandmother holds you while your mom gets dressed. Select an action. Give her a great big smile. Radio. Spit up on her. Radio. Ignore her. Radio button. Unchecked. 1 of 1. Next button.
Yeah, we'll just keep
Next
things
chapter
rolling.
button. You are behaving yourself very nicely today. This is one of those experiences that your grandma will always remember. You have just become one of her favorite grandchildren and will be rewarded handsomely
Yeah.
later in life. This
Heck yeah.
can't help if you get yourself into a jam, which you undoubtedly will.
That's what we're talking about.
Next chapter button. Intellectual. Link. Image.
Okay. Because I think what we'll do is I'll at least play through this when the thing advances, when the stage of life advances. I think then we'll break off the video and we'll start another one here. Let's.
Intellectual. Link.
Oh yeah,
Image.
there's another intellectual one. Let's do that.
Determination. Radio button. Lying on your stomach in the crib, you notice an interesting object an arm's distance away. It has a round shape at the top and a ring on the bottom.
Ah, okay.
Select a mood.
A round shape and a ring on the bottom.
Anger/frustration. Determination. Radio
Determination. That
Check.
sounds like a good idea.
button. Neutral. Radio button. Select an action. Grasp for object. Radio button. Checked. 1 of 1.
Grasp for object.
CRY, radio button, unchecked. Ignored object, radio. CR, grasp for object, radio button, checked. 1
Yep,
of 1.
definitely
Next,
grasp.
button.
We're gonna try it
You have
here.
the fighting spirit of your Uncle Bill. You sneak and crawl on your belly like a combat soldier heading into battle. You reach your destination, grasp a battle confidently and rule on it in victory. Intellectual sphere. Shows a marked increase.
Okay, intellect goes up.
Select an action. Shake the rattle, radio button. Keep drooling on it, radio button. Emit a pleasurable yell, radio button. Unchecked, 1 of 1.
Shake the
Next,
rattle,
button.
yeah. Sounds like what
Next
we'd
chapter,
want to
button.
do with it.
This is terrific fun. You spend a good amount of time shaking the rattle and then fall asleep, exhausted by the long trek from one end of the crypt to the other. Next chapter, button.
So I'm kind of going out of order here. I'm just
They are
trying
sorted
to...
chronologically.
The way I'm playing it right now is I'm not necessarily going in order. I'm trying to pick a little variety of things just so that, you know, in each stage of life I would have, you know, a variety of life experiences. And hopefully, you know, again, you know, so we've got our grandma to like us, and we've learned a couple of things. We have done a couple of family things.
Intellectual, link, image. Intellectual,
Yeah,
intellectual,
let's,
link, image.
let's be a nerd.
You are
right,
finally
let's-
playing with your father's brand new electronic calculator. Look, the back of it lifts off very easily.
Ooh, okay.
Select a mood. Inquisitive, radio button. Devilish, radio button. Unchecked, 1 of 1.
I like inquisitive.
Select an action. Look but don't touch, radio button. Look, touch and take apart, radio
Heck
button.
yeah.
Unchecked, 1 of 1. Checked.
We're totally going to take this sucker apart.
Next, button. Next chapter, but your little fingers make efficient pliers. You pluck out the electronic components, tasting 1 or 2 as you go along. They are definitely not for eating. You know Dad will be pleased that you're fixing his toy.
Yeah, sure about that.
Next chapter, button.
Next chapter.
You may select icons in any order.
And
You are in infancy.
yeah, we're still in infancy.
Emotional, link, intellectual, link.
Let's do another
image,
intellectual.
link, image. You are exploring the playpen and are feeling very lively. Like a prize fighter, you grab hold of the playpen bars and shake back and forth, flexing your knees.
Okay. Looking at probably learning to walk or stand.
Select a mood. Daring, radio button. Determined, radio button. Unchecked, daring, radio
Daring.
button.
That sounds pretty good.
Determined, select an action. Let go of the playpen. Take some steps, radio button. Unchecked, 1 of 1.
So do we want to try to take some steps while holding on, or do we let's let go?
Let go of the playpen, radio button. Checked, 1 of. Take some. Next, button. You raise your hands over your head triumphantly, ellipsis, boom. You go right down on your bottom. Thank heaven
Nice.
for padded bottoms. You wobble back up to standing position. Select an action. Navigate around the crib holding onto the bars, radio button. Let go of the bars, radio button. Unchecked, 1 of 1.
Let go. We're determined, man. Or I wonder if yeah, I wonder if I think that will be I'm trying to walk without them like I'm
Next, button.
determined. I think that's how I'm interpreting it.
You rock back and forth and crash to the floor. Want to try again? Select an action. Yes.
Yeah.
Radio button. No. Next. Button.
Definitely.
Next chapter. The agony of defeat. You teeter on one leg for what seems like an eternity, do a half spin and bounce off the floor. That's enough for now. You'll get the hang of it sooner or later. Next chapter. Button. They are sorted
Okay.
chronologically.
And let's keep going here.
Emotional. Link. Image.
Sure, we haven't done one of
Emotional,
those in a
link,
while.
Image. Mom and Dad are entertaining some friends and you are minding your own business sitting quietly in a corner of the room. Suddenly, a man with a big nose and a shiny head puts his face right up to yours and says something in a loud voice. Select a mood. Anger, radio, terror, radio button, calm, radio button, unchecked, 1 of 1. Select an action, calm, terror, radio button, unchecked, 1 of 1.
Again, I think it's fun to be that guy
Radio button, unchecked. Check.
who just like looks at you going like, the hell are you talking about? You know?
Select an action, scream in a loud voice, radio, hit the man in the nose, radio, do nothing, radio button, unchecked. Checked. Next, button.
Do nothing. We'll
This
be
is not a very sensible
stoic.
response. Most people would have been very startled at this. Either you have nerves of steel, or you are not focusing in on potentially hazardous situations in the world around you. Please
Oh.
be more careful.
Okay.
Next chapter. Button.
So that didn't quite have the intended effect.
Next chapter.
I
Button.
don't think. We probably could have gained some stats
They
there.
are sorted chronologically.
Let's do a
Emotional,
3-finger
link,
flick.
page 2 of 3.
Oh yeah, see, look at this. We have a whole bunch of other icons here, and they are. We got 2 on that row, 2 on that row, and then we got a whole bunch. Yeah. Okay.
Physical link.
You.
Image.
Yeah. I haven't seen a physical one yet.
Physical link.
Let's
image.
do that.
You are alone in the kitchen and begin exploring the closets and refrigerator.
Ooh.
Select a mood. Adventurous. Radio button. Curious but cautious. Radio button. Unchecked. 1 of 1.
Adventurous, definitely.
Select an action. Move toward refrigerator. Radio button. Move toward pantry. Radio button. Unchecked. 1 of 1.
Huh. Let's go pantry.
Checked. Next button. You swing the pantry door open and see all of the beautifully colored jars, boxes, and bottles. One jar looks particularly pretty. It is shiny and brown and full of liquid. You unscrew the cap and smell what is inside. It smells sweet.
Oh, what is that? Honey, maybe?
Select an action. Taste it. Radio button. Put it back. Radio button. Taste it. Radio button. Check.
Sure.
Check. Next button.
Some poison or
It
something.
tastes good.
Okay.
Select an action. Keep tasting it. Radio button. Put it back. Radio button. Unchecked. 1. Next button.
Keep tasting it.
It tastes so good that you drink a large portion of it. After a while, your stomach begins to feel queasy and upset. You get dizzy and begin to feel faint. You call out for some help, but no one seems to hear you. Next button.
Oh, dude, if I died right now, I'm going to be...
The liquid in the bottle was poison. An ambulance comes to take you to the hospital where your stomach gets pumped. You are only slightly aware of what is going on, but know that your parents are crying and looking frightened.
Oh! Okay, that... Yeah.
Next button.
Okay.
Next chapter button. The doctors try hard to clean your stomach, but you drank a large amount of highly toxic clean fluid. Your stomach and intestines are badly burned. You barely survive the experience. Your parents are shocked and badly.
Oh, shit. Okay. I guess if I would have just drank a little bit, I probably wouldn't have... Yeah, okay, well, there's what greed gets you guys, apparently. Alright, so we didn't come out all that well, and we are currently teetering on life and death, it looks like, right now. So, yay, decisions. I made good ones, apparently.
Traumatized. Next chapter button. Next chapter button.
Okay.
They are sorted chronologically.
I'm still alive.
Emotional link image. Page 2 of 3.
Boy.
Intellectual link image.
Let's do another
link
intellectual
image.
then, I guess.
You are touching something smooth and shiny. You pat it with your hand a few times. Select a mood. Confused. Radio button. Passive. Radio button. Unchecked. Select an action.
Yeah, let's be
Keep
confused.
touching. Radio button. Check. Ignore the smooth shiny thing. Radio
No,
button.
let's keep
Next button.
finding out what it is.
It is flat and a little cool. Wait a minute. There's a baby in there. Who is the baby?
Uh-huh.
Select an action. You. Radio button. Someone else. Radio button. Unchecked. Next.
Probably
button.
a mirror.
That's right. You are looking at yourself in a mirror. Isn't that a BEEYOOTEEFUL baby? Select an action. Yes. Radio button. No. Radio. Next.
Sure,
button.
why not?
Next chapter. Button. You really are quite stunning. You are developing a positive self-image.
Okay.
Next chapter. Button.
I promise you things will get more interesting. Like, well, I mean, well, I guess I will say, you know, being almost dead is pretty interesting, I suppose. But there's going to be a lot more variety of choices and things that'll happen. So, you know, when you're a kid, really, you don't do much. You eat, sleep, crap all over the place, and that's about it. There we go. Just had to get a drink of water. All right, let's continue. We are
in infancy.
still infancy. All right.
Emotional. Link. Page 2 of 3.
Let's
you are in infancy. Social. Link.
let's do another social one, I suppose.
Link, image. You are a guest at your friend Billy's house. His mom gives you both a box of crayons and 2 pieces of paper.
Okay.
Select a mood. Artistic. Radio button. Impulsive. Radio button. Unchecked. 1 of 1. Select an action. Draw on the paper. Draw in general. Radio button. Unchecked. 1 of 1. Next button.
Next. Okay.
You are behaving yourself very nicely so far. You draw a pretty picture. Select an action. Give IT to Billy's mom. Radio button. Give IT to your mom. Radio button. Unchecked.
Give it to
1
my
of 1.
mom.
Checked. Next button. Next. A very nice gesture. You can have a good time at somebody else's house for a short while, but there's no place like home. Next chapter button.
Okay.
Your game is saved automatically.
That went well.
Emotional. Link. In page 2 of 3. Intellectual. Link.
Um.
Image. Emotional.
Yeah,
link,
let's do
image.
another emotional one,
Emotional,
just
link,
because
image.
I haven't done one of those in a while.
Up until this point in life, Weasley Wubbit, your stuffed toy, has been one of your best friends. You take him everywhere with you, but he is beginning to get on in years. One of his ears is torn off and a recent eye injury has made his face look a little lopsided. It is suggested that Weasley should be retired. You wake up one day to discover Weasley has been moved from the place where you last spotted him. Select a mood. Panicky. Radio button. Checked. Suspicious. Radio button. Unchecked. 1 of 1. Panicky. Radio button. Checked. 1 of 1.
Let's be, yeah, sure,
Suspicious.
why not?
Radio button. Unconcerned. Radio button. Select an action. CRY. Radio button. Seek information. Radio button.
Seek information.
Checked. Do nothing. Radio button. Next button.
Okay.
Even though you are driven to find out why your friend has suddenly disappeared, you are not in a frame of mind that would ensure a satisfactory outcome. You question everyone in the house as to the whereabouts of Weasley.
Okay.
You confront your mother who looks very guilty. Select an action. Calm yourself down and ask about the doll. Radio button. Become hysterical and ask for the doll. Radio button. Unchecked. 1 of 1.
Again, we're trying to be this
Calm yourself down
calm.
and ask about the doll. Radio button. Check. 1 of 1.
Actually, though, here's the problem. Knowing what I know about this game, I don't know what's going to happen with this scenario, but sometimes if like, okay, let's say I'm trying to present this calm, this calm facade as a character, but because I chose panic on the last screen, if I try to say calm myself, I probably won't be successful because that action, especially early on right now, probably won't work. It'll probably clash with what I already chose. So I
Become
guess
hysterical and ask for the doll. Radio.
we'll
Check.
freak out a little bit.
Next button.
See what happens.
Next chapter. Your panic and hysteria make your mom feel guilty about throwing out the doll. She spends an afternoon tracking it down and restoring it to mint condition, performing major surgery to ensure that Weasley will be with you for a long while.
Yeah. All right, got my toy back. Cool.
Next chapter button.
Okay.
They are sorted chronologically.
Guilt her into it.
Emotional link image.
All
Page
right.
2 of 3.
Let's see.
Social link image.
Is there another physical?
Family link family link image. Emotional link social link image. Emotional link image. Intellectual link image.
Yeah, we haven't done one of those in a
Intellectual
while.
link image. You are sitting in a large place and a furry man walks up to you. He's walking around you in circles.
Ah,
Select a mood. Curious, radio button. Frightened, radio button. Unchecked.
curious.
Select an action. Point at the furry man. Make noises at / talk to the furry man. Radio button. Unchecked. Checked. Next button.
Okay, we'll talk to it.
You yell out to the furry man and he walks over to you. He makes a noise that sounds like this. Rudolph. Then he sits on your leg. Select an action. Grab the furry man by the head. Radio. Push him off you. Radio button. Grab the furry man by the head. Radio button. Checked.
Yeah,
1 of 1.
grab
Push
him.
Next button.
Puppy.
You grab his head between your 2 hands. Hey, now that man is licking you all over the face. Mommy says he's kissing you. Select an action. Lick the furry man in the face. Push him off you. Radio button. Unchecked. 1. Next button. Next chapter. His nose is cold and the hairs tickle your face. He tastes very salty and has bad breath.
Meh.
Next chapter. Button.
Sounds like something a baby
You
would
play from
do.
birth until death. Emotional. Link. Image.
All
Page 2 of
right,
3.
let's see.
Social. Link. Image.
Social. Let's do one of those.
Social.
Why not?
Link. Image. You are in a large department store waiting in line and there is an extremely well-endowed woman standing in front of you. She smiles. It looks like she may be an interesting person to talk to.
Huh?
Select a mood. Inquisitive. Radio button. Checked. 1 of
Sure,
1.
let's be
SHY.
inquisitive.
Select an action. Ask her some questions. Radio. Be quiet. Radio button. Ask her some questions.
Sure, let's
Radio
ask some
button. Be quiet.
questions.
Next button.
Oh God, what horrible question am I going to ask? You know what little kids do, right? Out of the mouths of babes. Let's find out what horrible thing I end up saying.
Which question would you like to ask her?
Oh, okay, get a choice.
Select an action. Ellipsis. Do you have a husband? Radio button. Ellipsis. Do you have a DOGGIE? Radio button. Ellipsis. Mommy said that daddy has a thick skull. Do you? Radio button. Unchecked. 1 of 1. Ellipsis. I tried very hard to pinch a penny like Edna, but couldn't. Can you? Radio button. Unchecked. Stop asking questions. Radio button. Unchecked. 1 of Ellipsis. I tried very hard to pinch a penny
Oh,
like Edna,
man.
but couldn't. Can you? Radio button. Ellipsis. Mommy said that daddy has a thick skull. Do you? Radio button. Unchecked. 1 of 1.
That one just I got to do that one.
Check.
That's just too good. Like I know we're trying to be we're trying to be good, we're trying to be stoic or whatever, but that's just too good to do. And like I said, when you're little you can get away with stuff like that.
Ellipsis. I stop asking questions. Next button.
Boom. Let's do it.
The lady giggles. The lady giggles and mom puts her hand over your mouth and says, S-H-H-H-H-H-H-H. Whack.
Oh,
Next button.
I got whacked. Okay.
Select an action. Perhaps you are interested in asking something else. Ellipsis. Which question would you like to ask
All
her?
right.
Select an action. Ellipsis. Do you have a husband? Radio. Ellipsis. Do you have a DOGGIE? Radio button.
Let's do it. Do you have a doggy? All right, we'll do
Check.
that.
Next button.
Steer away from
She tells you, no dog G. Only a cat. You inform her that daddy said that that's what they cook in the restaurant on the corner.
Nice.
Next button. Select an
Oh,
action.
that's pretty great.
Perhaps you are interested in asking something else. Ellipsis. Which question would select an action? Ellipsis. Do you have a husband? Radio button. Ellipsis. Do you have a DOGGIE? Radio. Ellipsis. Mommy said that daddy has a thick skull. Do you? Radio
Oh,
button.
that's so
Unchecked.
good.
1 of 1. Ellipsis. I tried very hard to pinch a penny like Edna, but couldn't. Can you? Radio button. Unchecked. 1 of 1.
Oh, we got to do one more.
Check. Stop asking. Next button.
and then we'll quit.
You don't get past the word and before you are scooped up by your mother and dragged to a new line.
Uh-oh.
Next chapter button. Your game is saved automatically.
Excellent. You got to cause a little bit of trouble. You can't be on the straight and narrow all the time, You got to live a little bit here.
Emotional link
All
image page 2
right.
of 3.
We're probably getting to the point, like I said, I don't think it'll let you do all of them all the time, at least in later life. I know I didn't hit the age button, and I know there must have been some life event or something that happened. Maybe when you're young, maybe you can do all of them. I don't know specifically what triggers the next stage of life. But like I said, when I'm older, what happens is maybe if I graduate or if I do some other thing that kind of seems to trigger a jump into the next stage. I don't know. Let's do
Social link family link
let's do some
image.
we haven't
Family,
hardly done
link,
any family.
image.
Let's check these out.
Daddy says it's time to go to bed. Select a mood. Cranky/MAD. Tired. Radio. Select an action. Tired. Radio.
We'll do
button.
tired.
Checked. Select an ask to stay. Say I don't want to go to bed. Radio. Ignore request. Radio button. Unchecked. 1 of 1. Say I don't want to go to bed. Radio button. Ask to stay up a little while longer. Radio button. Checked. 1 of 1.
Yeah, all right.
Checked. Say ignore next button. Dad explains how tired you are and what a busy day it will be tomorrow. The same old line. He offers to carry you. When you get to the bedroom, you can select an action. Ask him to tell you a story. Radio. Ask for a drink of water. Radio button. Unchecked. 1 of
Let's
1.
see what story he tells us.
Next button. Next chapter. Dad tells you the story of the 3 bears. You have heard it a million times before, but when he tells it, it is always special. You fall asleep holding onto Dad's big finger.
Okay.
Next chapter button. They are sorted chronologically.
And let's do
Emotional link image. Emotional link image.
I don't want
Page 2 of 3.
emotional.
Emotional link family link image. Family link
Let's
image.
do one more of these.
It's Saturday morning and Dad asks you to help with some chores. The Super Duck cartoon hour has just begun. Select a mood. Cranky. Radio button. Helpful. Radio button. Passive. Radio button. Unchecked.
Let's do passive.
Checked. Select an action. Tell Dad you want to watch cartoons. Go outside and help. Radio button. Ignore him. Radio button.
No, just ignore him.
Checked.
Must watch TV. Must watch cartoons.
Next button. You are too busy fighting the glue monster with Super Duck. You are oblivious to all sights and sounds other than the ones coming from the TV set. Dad tries to encourage you away from the TV. Does it work?
Yeah, let's see what happens.
Next
Let's
button.
see if it does. It's on yes right now.
Next chapter. What a good boy. Dad makes you feel very important. You use your own special plastic tools to help him. As a reward, Dad takes out a big ball.
Ah, okay.
You throw out your hands. The ball hits your body and you squeeze it between your chin and your chest. You caught it. Next chapter.
All right. Got to play catch with Dad. All right. So we got that.
You are in infancy.
We got that aspect of life down now. All right. We're good there. I think maybe in early childhood, maybe you can do all of them. I don't know. I think we're going to manually age ourselves, partly just to move things on and partly just to kind of wrap up this
Page
first
2 of 3.
video. I mean, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
Page 1 of 3.
6, 7, 7 more left. And like I said, I could do this and it would develop my character further, but it's interesting also, like you said, if you hit your key experiences and you just want to move on, it's like, okay, well, what if you didn't have X experience? So, yeah, let's age.
Age. Link. Image. Age.
And let's
link,
see what
image.
happens.
Select an action. Continue. Radio button. Skip on to the next life stage. Radio button. Start the game over again. Skip on to the next life stage.
Let's
Radio
go on to the
button.
next life stage.
Start next button. No, I want to keep playing. Are you sure you want to skip on to the next life stage? You might miss something in the current one.
Yes, I do.
Select an action. Yes, take me to the next level. Radio button. Checked.
Yeah,
1 of
let's
1.
do that.
No. Next button. Next chapter button. Okay, you're on your way to the next life stage.
Now, usually between each life stage, they will give you kind of a summary as to, how you're doing. Like, oh, are you healthy? Are you, later in life, are you employed? Are you doing well as a student? Or how is your social skills? That kind of thing. Let's find out.
Next chapter button. You have just passed through infancy. A brief look at your life up to this time shows the following.
Yep, so here we go. Here's our summary. So we've already had a couple of really pretty interesting events happen in our life so far. Almost died already.
Next button. Your family positive and nurturant, and as a result you have begun to form the your family
Wait,
life
what?
has been positive and nurturant, and as a result you have begun to form the critical bonds that are important during this phase of life.
All right, that's good. I haven't made them too mad yet.
Next button. Physically you have been not a very healthy baby.
No, that's gonna probably come back and bite me.
Next button. Socially, during this phase in life, nothing much is really expected of you. After all, you're still much too young to throw a successful cocktail party, and frankly, anyone who still dribbles on himself probably wouldn't make the ideal dinner guest. However, by now there are some things you should have mastered. Your progress in this area shows. Next button.
Ooh, what does it show?
You have been the type of child that mom could trust in department stores.
Oh, okay, that's interesting.
Next button. Now, regarding your emotional and personality development, ellipsis.
Okay.
Next button. You are a fairly trustworthy little boy, making your share of exploratory excursions into the world of the unknown and forbidden.
Fairly
The kitchen sink.
trustworld. Yes, the forbidden kid. Oh, see, I was thinking it was like a. Okay, because it said pantry, but now they lied to us. They said, "Oh, we went to the kitchen sink is where we went."
Next button. Next. Your folks could trust you in most cases, but when all of the chocolates have one bite taken out of them, it is a fair guess whose teeth marks have made those jagged impressions.
Ah, okay. So this is a little bit different even than what I did last time. I mean, I didn't have to go to the ER, and they were actually I was pretty trustworthy. I think that in the last one, so
Next button.
it seems a little more normal.
Will tolerated. Your thoughtfulness characteristic really doesn't count for much in this module. Most children often find themselves at the mercy of their whims and impulses. You are allowed to be cranky now, people. Will tolerate much better than when you are a teenager. Then your whining and carrying on will seem more objectionable.
Yep.
Next button. Next.
Okay.
One thing about your character that has a tendency to put people off is your aggressiveness. You are the type of baby who likes to pull on loose pieces of clothing, hair, and any bulbous fleshy object that comes within your reach. You are
Okay.
going to have to learn the meaning of make nice. Next button.
Well, do I now?
Next chapter. But that wraps up your status for the first module. I hope you like yourself. If not, you can always try to improve yourself in the modules to come. There's plenty of time.
Okay.
Next chapter. Button.
Boom.
Home.
Let's
Back
do
button.
it.
Welcome to childhood.
Okay.
Practice yourself, for heaven's sake, in little things, and thence proceed to greater. EPICTETUS 50120 A D.
What?
Discourses. BK. I. Chapter 18.
Oh, okay. It's a
Next
quote.
chapter.
Okay,
Button.
I'm like, what the heck is that?
Family. Link. Image.
Okay, so we have moved on to childhood, so I think it is time to wrap up this video and move on to the next one. So, we are going to wrap it up here, and hope you guys are enjoying this Let's Play so far. It's definitely interesting, and like I said, I'm already getting different happenings than I did in the first time I played. So, and that's why I really wanted to do this kind of Let's Play, because like I said, especially with accessible games, like usually it's just they're pretty simple, they're pretty linear. You know, that's kind of one of my kind of complaints that I've voiced in prior videos about that. But this one just has so much variety in what you choose and don't choose and how you play, that even if I do a full playthrough, I would highly encourage you to support this developer, because it's clear they put a lot of thought into it. It's accessible, and there's just a lot of replayability to it. So you can find out what kind of life you're gonna lead. So we're gonna wrap it up here, and I will talk to you guys in the next one.